Tonight on SUTV News, a natural disaster shakes up Ship.
And 2 student-run service projects are giving back to the community.
All that and more right now. Thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Avery Quinn.
And I'm Isabella Marcelino. This week, Shippensburg University saw some earthquake activity. On Tuesday night, February 26th, around 7 p.m., seismic activity 5 kilometers below the surface caused the earth to shake and quake. Many of the university's buildings and residents felt the event take place, but thankfully, no damage or injuries were reported.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for those people who are, used to earthquakes, this thing was a pretty small one. Just a little rumble. The earth was kind of groaning, basically. So yeah, this one was originally, within a few minutes of it being detected, it was categorized as a 1.5 magnitude earthquake. And then scientists took a better look at the data the next day. So yesterday they downgraded it to a 1.1 magnitude earthquake. So just a little tiny bump in the night, basically.
Professor Cornell also stated that the location of the quake was approximately 3 miles away from campus, and that if it were larger on the Richter scale, that we would have seen a lot more damage. Tremors from this earthquake were felt at seismic stations all the way in Bermuda and Mexico. In honor of Women's History Month, Shippensburg University ROTC welcomed Major Lisa Jaster. Only the 3rd female to graduate from Army Ranger School, Jaster told her story of breaking barriers in a male-dominated field. Jaster started off her day at 5:45 in the morning for an intense CrossFit workout with students. She then talked with students in women's and gender studies classes, as well as a lunch with female cadets. To learn more about Lisa Jaster, visit SUTVnews.com. Do you ever wonder where the leftover food from Reisner Dining Hall goes? SUTV's Delana Burrell has more.
Every week, pounds of food from Reisner Dining Hall is taken to local organizations that help feed the Shippensburg community. Honor student T.J. Doyley said this is made possible by Shippensburg University's Food Recovery Program.
What we do is we take overproduced food from the dining hall, from Reisner, and we take that food to one of 6 free meal services in Shippensburg to feed the less fortunate of Ship. I got started with it end of my freshman year, and we were only serving one church at that time, so I expanded that to 5 or 6 more that we attend to right now. And
those who are interested in volunteering with the SU Food Recovery Program can contact T.J. Doyley. Delana Burrell, SUTV News.
To contact Dooley, students can email td0893@ship.edu. Scheduling begins at the start of each week, so don't miss your chance to give back.
Ship's women's sports sorority Tau Kappa is hosting their annual project, Prom Dress. This Sunday, women from surrounding communities can try on affordable donated prom dresses. Members of Tau Kappa will be assisting in finding the perfect fit along with other activities.
Try on prom dresses, there's gift bags and accessories that all have been donated from a bunch of members of our sorority and local community.
The event starts at 8 a.m. in Higas Fieldhouse. The money goes back to the sorority to host another Project Prom next year. German professor David Wildermuth is the winner of a grant from the Harry Frank Guggenheim Foundation. Wildermuth will use this grant towards a long-awaited project about Nazi and Soviet soldiers during World War II. Wildermuth says it's a project he's been planning for over a decade.
I hope so. I mean, certainly my research has a very, German and historical context, but at the same time, I think the lessons there are more universal.
Wildermuth plans to use the 2019-2020 school year to go off to Freiburg, Germany to access the German Army's archives and finish his project. On Tuesday, January 28th, Professor Jaylene Galarza received the TRIO Award in recognition of her efforts to pay forward the vital assistance she received from Upward Bound. It is one of 8 TRIO programs for scholars run by the U.S. Department of Education. and it helps children living in poverty to get the high school education they deserve. Professor Galarza's work with Upward Bound took place at East Stroudsburg University. Although she teaches at SHIP, she goes back to ESU regularly to speak with the kids in the program about her story. The best part of the program, Galarza says, quote, the financial aid that each student receives, which is the biggest barrier that families face today, end quote. For those of you on the run, listen up. SHIP's very first One Act Festival begins this weekend, and it may be the event for you. Jillian Mencken has more.
The Act 5 Theater Company is bringing big excitement in short amounts of time. Talented student directors have come together for what they call the One Act Festival to showcase their own original plays.
They're going to be so much fun. There are 4 of them. They're all different. They're all quirky and funny. They're student written, student directed, student acted.
But here's the catch. Each is only 15 minutes long.
Is anybody else out there?
Placed one right after the other, each show involves different characters as well as its own storyline. This was a huge factor for Madeline Davis when deciding to audition, but for her, the best part is how low stress it is compared to other productions.
It's so much less stress than some of the other shows that I have done before. I mean, I was in Clue during the fall, and those ones, I mean, it's a bigger production. And so this one, it's so much more relaxed. It's so much better.
With only 3 weeks of rehearsal time, the cast and crew is excited to show what they've accomplished and bring this quartet of shows to life.
It's just been amazing. It's a type of show that you won't really get many places, especially around here.
Jillian Mencken, SUTV Entertainment.
The One Act Festival begins tonight at 8 p.m. in Memorial Auditorium.
New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft is pleading not guilty to prostitution-related charges, according to Monday court documents. Authorities arrested Kraft as part of a months-long investigation into sex trafficking that focused on spas and massage parlors in Florida. Prosecutors claim to have video of him engaging in a sexual act. He faces 2 counts of soliciting someone to commit prostitution in Palm Beach County and will be arraigned March 27th. Prosecutors say one of the incidents took place on the same day the New England Patriots played in the AFC Championship game in Kansas City. Each count is punishable by up to a year in jail with a $5,000 fine and 100 hours of community service.
SHIP leads the way with innovative education. SUTV's Nolan Huffman has this week's Know Your SHIP.
Nolan Huffman here for SUTV, and for this week's segment of Know Your SHIP, Shippensburg has been recently awarded a $60,000 PA SMART grant as a result of launching and developing the South Central Early Childhood Education Apprenticeship Program. The PA SMART grant provides job training in the state through certain programs such as maintenance and advanced manufacturing, early childhood education, information technology, and building and construction. The program is led by Dr. Jennifer Piles, an assistant professor here at Shippensburg University. She is also part of a larger childhood education program proposal to bring together all of PA's early childhood education programs into one big initiative. With Piles' help, the program is currently registering 800 new apprentices and looking to construct a national model for early childhood education apprenticeship programs. It is exciting work and an exciting time for employers, community members, and institutions of higher education, said Piles. Shippensburg program is the first in the South Central region, and by its second year, the program is looking to expand to 30 apprenticeships by working with multi-level employees. That's all for this week's Know Your SHIP. I'm Nolan Hoffman. Back to you guys at the desk.
When we come back in world news, flu season is here to stay.
And a Stonehenge mystery is solved. What's happening in this week's issue of the Slate? Michaela Valonio has more.
In the Slate this Tuesday, we will cover men's basketball moving into playoffs, as well as SHIP's new food director and his initiatives to improve Reisner Dining Hall. Other stories include the French Club hosting a Mardi Gras celebration to raise money that will go towards a medical building in Haiti, and a feature on Act 5 having their first One Act Festival this weekend that will showcase 4 student-written, directed, and performed plays. Be sure to pick up the next edition of the Slate on Tuesday in newsstands in the Cub, academic buildings, and on dormitory front desks. You can also visit theslateonline.com for news 24/7.
A newborn in Japan is setting a new world record. SUTV's Paige Ahrensmeyer has this week's World News. Paige?
Freedom Project exposes a shocking and brutal reality in Ghana. CNN's Nima Albagir has the story.
Lake Volta, Ghana, just before the dawn. A column of boys heads off to work, all of them slaves. The International Labour Organization estimates there are 10 million children living in slavery around the world. 20,000 of them, they say, work here on this lake. CNN was granted unprecedented access on board a boat where these child slaves labored daily. Some so young, it's almost unbelievable. Typically, the children tell us there's shouting from Samuel, the man they must call Master. But with our cameras trained on these children, Samuel only casts a watchful eye. As the boys look back, fearfully, a fishing net snags on an underwater branch. Without a word, Adam, who doesn't know his own age, understands what he must do. These underwater dives can be deadly. Children are said to get caught up in the nets or tree branches and often drown. There's no telling how many unnamed bodies lay at the bottom of this lake.
When he says you should dive, you have no option. The fearful part is that you might not come back. That's what I fear most.
Back on land, Samuel explains how he justifies putting children like Adam in such danger.
If one of them dies while working on the lake, I sit down with the parents and we talk. We all know that working on the lake is very dangerous and anything can happen. In this world, if you don't set a trap, you can't catch fish.
Despite the dangers and the laws in Ghana against slavery and forced child labor, rescues here of children facing violence and abuse remain few and far between. PACODEB, a local non-profit, does its best to identify and rescue child slaves, pulling up alongside fishing vessels and, with the help of a policeman, forcing their way on board. With so many children on the lake and sparse resources to liberate and care for them, George Achipa's job can seem overwhelming. But by day's end, Samuel agrees to release all 6 boys under his control. Instead of fishing, Samuel will become a farmer.
I think this is the best way. If we give him anything like money, net, or anything, it means we are encouraging him to go for more children. But if you are taking him off the lake into grounds work, it means he can't go for traffic children and use on the lake anymore.
But in the long term, the children here will need much more. The government of Ghana needs to commit funds to register every vessel on this lake and those working on them to end this scourge. Nermel Barir, CNN.
Even with the relief efforts, there are about 20,000 child slaves still in Ghana. A mystery 5,000 years in the making. Researchers in the United Kingdom believe they've solved it. A team of geologists declared they've pinpointed where the Stonehenges came from and how they got there. They were able to trace some of the smaller stones to 2 quarries in Western Wales dating back to 3000 BC. In those quarries, they also found evidence of digging and digging tools. That evidence, they say, is proof that it was humans who carried the rocks 150 miles to the current Stonehenge. Even though there are theories, there are still no answers why the stones were moved or how they were positioned the way they are. The world's smallest recorded baby is finally on his way home. In Tokyo, Japan, the baby boy was born at just 24 weeks gestation, weighing 9.4 ounces. After 5 months in the hospital receiving nutrition management, he is now the smallest baby to be expected to live a healthy life. The baby currently weighs just over 7 pounds. And lastly for today, our health raid. February is almost over, but flu season isn't. One child in Chicago died from the flu after a severe outbreak in the area. 15% of the students at South Middle School in Arlington Heights stayed home on Wednesday. and officials sent 23 more home during that same day. Nearly 200 students missed school this week. While officials say they're working overtime to clean the schools, parents are encouraged to keep any child with symptoms at home. That's it for this week's World News. Back to you guys at the desk.
Avery, are you burning up?
For the Jonas Brothers, I am.
When we come back in entertainment, the tables have turned and the Joe Bros are back.
And Pikachu is coming to the big screen. You know, I don't know if it's just me getting used to the cold, but today felt like a really nice day.
It really did. Let's send it over to Jillian to see if this warm weather's going to stick around.
Bella, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you gotta bear with me a little bit on this one because these next few days are not looking so good for us. Tonight we have the possibility for some snow, which should start somewhere around 10 p.m., giving us a low of 25. Then the snow is going to continue through the night and into Friday, but then finally stop around 5 p.m. Temperatures are going to stay low in the 30s. The weekend's probably going to keep most of us indoors with the snow and rain on Saturday and a high of 44 and a low of 28. And then more snow on Sunday with a high of 38 and a low of 26. Then on Monday, the snow should stop, but just bring us some clouds with a high of 33, dropping to a low of 26. Then Tuesday's going to be a bit of a tease as the sun will finally come out again, but temperatures are going to be very, very cold with a high of 28 and a low of 14. Then finally for Wednesday, the temperature will remain chilly with a high of 30 and a low of 12. So I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I am definitely planning on sweatpants and hot drinks if we have to go to classes for next week because I'm pretty sure we used up the rest of those last week. So hopefully the rest of us will be okay. And that'll be it for weather. I'll send it over to Mike for entertainment.
Sunday was a historic evening for the Oscars as it was the first show in 30 years to not have a host. However, that didn't stop ABC and the Academy from airing the biggest night in Hollywood. Queen and Adam Lambert kicked off the shows, bringing fans to their feet for the night to come. The show also featured a few surprises when Green Book took home Best Picture over the much-favored Roma, and Olivia Colman won Best Actress over Glenn Close, who is now the most nominated actress in history with no wins. The end of the night saw Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga performing their emotional song Shallow from A Star Is Born, which also won the award for Best Sound Mixing in a Film. A new trailer for the highly anticipated remake of Disney's The Lion King was released Sunday night during the Oscars. Fans of the classic movie will notice that the trailer began in a similar fashion to the original and showed off many scenes from the opening number, The Circle of Life, along with the iconic image of Rafiki raising Simba over Pride Rock. Along with the trailer, Disney also released a new poster for the movie, featuring Mufasa and Simba at the summit of their kingdom. Not much else was shown, but with an all-star cast including names like Donald Glover, Seth Rogen, Beyonce Knowles, and James Earl Jones, July 19th cannot get here fast enough. Nike released another groundbreaking ad during the Oscars Sunday night. Titled Dream Crazier, the ad came out as part of Nike's Just Do It campaign. Narrated by tennis star Serena Williams, the ad features many women breaking down the barriers throughout sports history. Female athletes like gymnast Simone Biles, snowboarder Chloe Kim, and Paralympian Tatiana McFadden, and many more female athletes are recognized throughout the campaign. The ad serves as a reminder to women to keep pushing forward despite the criticism they may face. The Jonas Brothers we all knew and loved are back. Brothers Nick, Kevin, and Joe are reuniting with their first single in over 5 years. The promo was posted on Thursday of them singing the song in a car with James Gordon. After keeping the new song a secret for almost 7 months, the brothers are relieved to finally share the news. Their new song, Sucker, will drop tonight at midnight. Ryan Reynolds is taking a different kind of role for his newest movie. He is playing the role of Pikachu in the newest movie, Detective Pikachu. A private detective goes missing, so his son joins forces with Pikachu by following clues that will lead them to his father. The film will showcase a wide array of Pokemon characters, each with unique abilities. Pikachu and the rest of the gang will hit the big screen May 10th. And that's all we have for entertainment. Let's send it back to the desk.
When we come back in sports, men's basketball tops #1 Westchester.
And women's lacrosse starts the season off strong.
Women's basketball is sitting 6th and in the last playoff spot, and with 2 games remaining, it's easy. Win and you're in. But easier said than done as the Raiders hosted Westchester on Wednesday. Ship in a must-win scenario, and they played just like it. First quarter, Lauren Mills gets things going. Three-pointer from the corner. Yes, ma'am. Ship, however, down after the first quarter by 1. Second quarter now. Lauren Pettis gets going. She's going to miss her first shot, but she grabs her own rebound, puts it back up for the two-point bucket. Pettis, physical in the paint all game, and the Raiders are up 8 at halftime. Fourth quarter now, Raiders up 3, but not for long. Destiny Jefferson ties the game, and eventually the Golden Rams take the lead. Now up 4 with no time left. This game is all over, but Jones decides she wants to pad the stats from the parking lot. Banks it in. What a shot by Jones. However, it did not change the outcome. Westchester wins 69-68. Now, a big game on Wednesday as well, as the men's basketball team was home against Westchester. The Golden Rams sitting on top of the PSAC East standings, but if Ship could win out, they have a chance to take the top spot heading into playoffs. But it all starts here in Higas Fieldhouse. Ship only losing 1 game at home this year. We pick it up in the first half. Ship ball, Manny Spann dishes it to Lamar Talley. Talley's going to hit from 3. He had 4 threes before the night was over, but it was back and forth in the first half. Jackson Highland, step back 3, and it's good. Westchester went into the half up 1. Now in the second half on the fast break, Jake Biss to Talley, to Kellum for 3, and he makes it. Antonio Kellum is fired up. The game is down to the wire. Ship up 6 with under 10 seconds to go. Highland, he's going to have to throw a shot up. No way this goes in, right? It does go in. Well, now Ship is only up 3, and they get fouled on the inbound. That sends Dalen Carter to the line with the game on the line. And cold as ice is Dalen Carter. Makes the foul shot. Ship wins. Sleeve and span. Check out the dance moves. They like it. How about Ariel Jones? Just going to give a little shake here, a little dance move to the camera. Raiders win 91-86. And over to men's track and field PSAC action. Oh, I apologize. Derek Burbrick, Shippensburg heavyweights, was qualified for NCAA Division II Wrestling Championships. The junior heavyweight placed second at the Super Region 1 tournament, getting a pin in the first match and winning the semifinal by major decision. This is the 17th straight year that the Raiders have sent a wrestler to the NCAA tournament. Seedings for the tournament have yet to be released, so we will get back to that when we get more information on it. The women's lacrosse team is off to a hot start to their season. Raiders open up the year with a game at home against Wilmington. 10 different players, yes, 10 different players scored at least 1 goal in the contest. Junior Cammie Holt led the way with a hat trick and an assist en route to the Raiders' 15-9 win. The Raiders then looked to Wednesday as they took on Shepherd in an attempt to start the season undefeated at home. Freshman Shaylee Gamble made 11 saves, 7 of them in the second half. And on the other side of the field, seniors Kyra Shank and Maddie Newman each tallied multiple goals to lead the Raiders to a 9-4 win. The women will be back in action on Wednesday as they travel to Jefferson. And now, well, the stat of the week. And this week's stat of the week goes to Ariel Jones of the women's basketball team. Jones broke the PSAC single-season record of free throws made on Wednesday, which was a 23-year-old record. She now has 226 free throws made on the season, which is also number 1 in Division II. Ariel Jones, this week's stat of the week. And tune in next week for the stat of the week. And remember, if you work like that, you get the stat. That's it for sports. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Jake. When we come back, an East Stroudsburg basketball player scores big time.
ESU's women's basketball manager had the opportunity to suit up for her dream come true. Josh Rotenberg from Philly's WFMC has the story.
Hundreds packed East Stroudsburg's Kohler Fieldhouse to witness one special basketball player's dream come true. After spending 3 years on the sidelines, senior women's basketball manager Rachel Grace, who is living with Down syndrome, getting the chance to suit up on senior night.
This is really exciting for me. It's like the best opportunity of my life, getting a chance to play in this game.
Diane Decker's plan, to get Rachel in a pregame scrimmage and try to get her to score a basket.
She's part of our team, and we just wanted to give her an opportunity to get out on the court like everybody else.
Coach Decker and East Stroudsburg had been planning this for months. They got the necessary clearance, and all they needed was Kutztown's Janet Maloof to see if she was game. She says it was a no-brainer.
sometimes there's so many things that are much bigger than playing a basketball game, and this is one of those stories that is that.
Rachel got her opportunity and lived up to her nickname RG3 by launching and making several three-pointers. She finished with 10 points, but the festivities didn't stop there. Walking side by side with her parents, Rachel was honored during the senior night ceremony, and members of East Stroudsburg's men's basketball team each gave her a rose.
How cool was that?
It was amazing. It really was. I can't believe it. It was just so heartwarming.
Did you ever think that you would be here tonight?
No, this is like the favorite part of my life.
And even though it didn't count on the scoreboard, it did where it matters most. At East Stroudsburg University, Josh Roltenberg, 69 News.
That had to be the greatest moment of her life. I mean,
awesome.
she was killing it.
I mean, she made a lot of three-pointers out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say, jump to conclusions, but look out, Ariel Jones. There's a new three-point king in town. I mean, that was amazing. And the handshake?
Oh,
She had
it all
Style,
planned.
yeah.
That was nice.
That's it for us at SUTV News. I'm Avery Quinn.
And I'm Isabella Marcelino. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website, sutvnews.com.
We'll see you next week.